As an electrical engineer and management trainee, my key points of success is firstly try to get a mentor as soon as possible within your development phase. And I think that really helps in your exposure and to grow as fast as possible and learn from shared experiences. Secondly is throw yourself in the deep end as early as possible and as openly as possible, so you learn from a wider span of experiences and put yourself in situations that are uncomfortable early on to gain that experience. Firstly, I think it's important to find a company that matches your belief system and also matches your career path. And I think this also comes together with understanding your underlying values and also matching your career trajectory. So if you are in the engineering space, it's important to know if you want to be a professional engineer, if you want to be a certified engineer, if you're a bit more of an office type, and you want to grow in that area. So I'd say understand that first, understand where your goals are and how you're going to develop in that way, and understand what value you can add to RCL FOODS, and that career path will add to you as well. So I think that there's actually a number of projects that come to mind. A lot of them are planned, structured, and a specific project that comes to mind which actually speaks a lot to the type of engineer that you grow into and you become is, I recall a specific breakdown that led to a project where we had a substation catch on fire. You run in, obviously not run in as an engineer, but you have to solve this. So you assess the situation, ensure that it's safe, it's actually safe to isolate and switch on when possible, and you assess the situation. Very early on, I think this happened 6 months within the management trainee program, and that project used a lot of management expertise. It required project management expertise. It required a lot of electrical expertise, because in this specific instance, a power factor correction system exploded and we had to resolve that and get the system back up and running. I'm currently based in the Manufacturing Center of Excellence for Engineering, and we cover all sites within RCL FOODS. Particular focus has been on the spreads division, the sugar division, and I think we have a presence in all business units. I've currently been in there for 1.5 years, going on to 2 years at present. I've joined in 2017. I haven't had formal rotations, however I have visited a number of sites to gain experience from those sites. So I've visited within the feed and milling industry, I've visited all of the feed mill plants. I've also visited the milling division in Pretoria as well, thereafter to gain exposure, because in Pretoria there's a number of RCL FOODS sites, and I think that's the brilliance of RCL FOODS. You get exposed not only to the site that you're based at, but all of the neighboring sites. So I've also seen the bakeries, I've seen the milling division and the feed division as well, but no formal rotations as such. So I think one of the preconceptions is, I think everyone believes that you're going to be in a head office job where it's quite plush and you're sitting behind the desk and you don't actually do physical work. That's not been the case, and luckily so, because experience is not gained as an engineer from being behind a desk. You actually have to be on site, gain experience from those around you, and also from practical experience on projects. So I think that's one of the largest misconceptions. There's also, in general, rotations based on or depending on the need and what sort of growth you require. So that's been a reality of the situation as well. Yeah, I think that's about it. So I think one of the challenges I've experienced early on, I think it depends on where you're specifically based, and also what's your goals for long-term career progression, is defining, as I said, where you want to progress to for a career path perspective. So for example, if you want to be a professional engineer, you have to be in a space that allows you to grow professionally and also implement your practice, your profession. And in saying that, you need to also have a mentor that allows you to grow in that way. So for example, if you're a professional engineer, one of the biggest challenges is to find a mentor who is also a professional engineer, which is required to then become registered. And how I've overcome that and still through the process is looking externally to the business and also looking externally from your direct site of or direct basis. So look larger into the group and you'll find that expertise within the group. I think a number of areas come to mind. Firstly, it's achieving success with my first project of resolving an explosion with the power factor correction system and getting that in quite early in my career. The second highlight, and that's a project-specific highlight, the second highlight was at the time when I was very early within my management trainee position. The maintenance manager position was vacant, and whilst we now searched for that position, it allowed me to step into that role and act in that role, gain that experience very early on. Subsequently to that, I've also got my government certificate of competence, and I think that's been a key highlight in my career. And from that, I think my current inputs in my current team interaction is a highlight in my career because of the vast area of expertise and experience that I'm allowed to sort of glean from. I think as an engineer, it would be definitely more curiosity. Be curious to actually find solutions outside of the norm and not believing in what's been done for the last 10 years as the absolutely correct method to follow.